fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Alright, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV, and tonight it's the RGR Racing Winston Xfinity Series with RGR Racing League. I'm Dean Doucette, joined tonight by Mr. Jared Carr. We're down in old Atlanta tonight, hot Atlanta tonight, Jared.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race. I mean, this is the old Atlanta, the Atlanta we all know and love, where you have to lift off the gas quite a bit, move around, find some grip, and most of all, keep those tires underneath you, Dean, because it's going to be a tire eater out here tonight.
Yeah, well, it brings us right into our keys to the race, right? Tire wear, loose cars, and strategy. I mean, all of these things are going to come into play here, Jared.
Yeah, they are, and you know, you said it there. Tire wear is huge in Atlanta. It's probably, you know, the old Rockingham, right? Rockingham Speedway, probably the hardest on tires. Atlanta's right up there next to it. These guys are going to have to find grip. They're going to have to struggle for grip all night. I mean, you only get, you know, one hot lap, and then you're going to have to figure out how to save those tires from there on out. And then it's always going to be a fuel mileage race. I mean, 104 laps tonight, Dean. It's going to be really interesting to see how this turns out.
Yeah, that's right. Could be a two-stopper for some, a three-stopper for others, or three stints. Whatever, you know what I mean. And when we talk about loose cars, Jared, we're not just talking about whether your car is going to get loose, because it is. We're talking about cars around you being loose and how dangerous that can be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's this track. Once you start losing grip, I mean, you don't really get too tight here. It's actually really difficult to be tight here because the track just eats the tires up so much. You know, you got to be aware of what the other guys are doing around you because you don't want to get involved in somebody else's accident.
You know, we look back at last week, Jared, and I mean, what a race it was. Now, it was Beller who won that race on the last lap, thrilling event.
Yeah, I mean, like, Daytona brought out everything you could ever want in that race. I mean, we had a great race the whole time. Came down to right at the very end there, and wreck out turn 4, and you know, somebody was in the right place at the right time, right? And that's all it takes to win these races.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, I kind of thought we might be doing that here tonight, but instead of new Atlanta, we go old Atlanta. I couldn't be happier. Look in on one of these guys right now, Mike McMillan in the old smash burger machine. And, you know, talk around the pits is he could be dangerous here. Why? Because he's good on a long run, Jared. Tell us a little bit about how important it is here to save some tire.
Yeah, so, you know, most of the mile and a half we can do somewhere between 50 and 55 laps. Atlanta's no different. There is a lot more off-throttle time than, say, Vegas or, you know, Chicagoland or something like that. But either way, we're still going to be looking at around 50 laps. So that's a long time. And you got to you don't want to have to pit for tires. You don't want to be like, I'm so loose, I'm so, you know, wrecking out of the corner, and I need to come down for tires because that could throw your whole sequence off. You've got to be able to make it. Really, ideally, you got to be able to make it to lap 53. That way you could try to make it on one stop. But I think this race is going to be very difficult to do that based on the fact that we have a little bit lower fuel loads, I believe, here. So it's going to be difficult for these guys. But at the same time, you've got to be able to keep those tires under you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're going to be 75% fuel, so we'll be looking at about 42 laps here, Jared. And some guys will go with, you know, 34, 34, 34, whereas others will try something a little different. It's going to be interesting to see who does what. As a warm-up ending right now, looks like we're about ready to go racing. These boys starting to grit up already.
Yeah, 35 car field here tonight, Dean. It's going to be great to see these guys around, and I'm interested to see how this pit strategy is going to turn out. Could be in for a whale of a race.
Absolutely, we could. Let's get right into tonight's starting grid. On the pole, Greg Ratliff with a time of 31.960. The number 5, no slouch here. Get him starting on the pole. It is going to be difficult. Mike McMillan, who we brought up, not always a great qualifier, tonight on the outside of row number 1, really stepping up his game. He's going to be dangerous. It's Lance Buckshot Ripka in third, along with Adam Newton, and these two also contenders. We got a lot of them, and we'll keep going with them. Spear and Bruce in row 3, a couple of more dangerous guys over at Spear Motorsports. It's Wrecker and Gay in row 4, Thompson and Olson in 5, Person and Walker in row number 6.
And you look back, row 7, we got George Dibble and Paul K. Travis back there. Row 8 is going to be John Mankowski and Todd the Towman Gilly. Row 9, Tony Ratliff and Adam Kulikowski. Row 10, we got Fred Lester and Cale Seaman. Row 11, Austin Hund and George Leal. Jason Ratliff and Mickey Spear back in row 12. Chris Williams and Ken Allen in row 13. Jacob Musel and Nicholas Godina in row 14. And then we have last week's winner, Eric Beller and Daryl Whitford starting in row 15. Eric Whiting in row 16 with Mark Schrader, Daniel Blow, Michael Ware, and David Palmer rounding out your field of 35 here tonight, Dean.
You know, listening to you just reminded me, big field here tonight, Jared.
Yeah, a lot to get in there.
Absolutely. Great to see, though, 35 guys taking the lead lap here, the opening lap, as Greg Ratliff leads them down for the opening lap here in the Atlanta 160. Green flag out.
And not a good start by Mike McMillan, and Greg Ratliff gets ahead, and Lance Ripka Buckshot on the inside. He's going to clear McMillan into turn 1, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, tough to start second. You know, Jared, how much I despise second. Hard to see on a single screen. Not sure if Mike's on a single screen, but can be really tough on those single screen drivers.
Yeah, I think you just don't like being second period. I don't think it has anything to do with the start.
Well, there's a little bit of that, too. Right now, Carl Thompson on the outside of Wrecker here, making a move. So Carl Thompson, a relative newcomer to myself anyway, and looking good here early.
And Dean, looking through this field all the way back, I mean, most of these guys single filed out. We do have some guys popping out here, but already you're starting to see some guys looking for a line that they want to run. A little bit higher in 1 and 2, a little bit lower in 1 and 2. We're starting to see some lines that guys want to run at.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to see this all night. Whatever can keep that wheel smooth, right, Jared? I mean, you do not want to be sawing that wheel at the beginning, or you'll be sawing it all night long.
Absolutely, and you can see, like, watching to turn 1 here, Ratliff low, and then you got Buckshot Ripka right behind him, just running a little bit higher. Way back there, I think that's Darren Bruce, if I'm not mistaken, up a little bit, really high, actually. He's running the high side already, getting on the back of Jason Spear there. Or that's Ab Newton, that's all right.
Yeah, that's Newton there, running the high, and it's very
again.
Well, the 8, Bernard Person way up there. That's Person in the number 8 way up the track.
So already you're searching for that grip, because the thing with this dynamic track, Dean, you have a bunch of cars. We've got 35 cars tonight. That means that rubber is going to get rubbered in quickly. Not to mention we had a warm-up, which you don't typically see in open servers or whatever. So these guys, they have extra rubber down the track. So you're already trying to find the cool places on the track where your car can work and get that grip. Love seeing this fanned out like this, Dean.
Absolutely. Newton goes to the high side of Spear. The Spear kind of protects the bottom. I'm used to seeing him protect the top. He might have been letting Newton go here. I'm sure he's not interested in racing this early here. I mean, we are only on lap 5.
Yeah, Michael Ware had some connection issues. He was the slow car you saw down at the bottom. He's on pit road right now trying to get that sorted out. Greg Ratliff continuing to lead. And Dean, it's funny because you see these guys run distinct lines in each corner, but they really fan out to be single file in the straightaway. Nobody really passing or battling on the straightaways right now.
Well, this is kind of a product of this hot, slick track too, right, Jared? I mean, you get out there, you're tiptoeing around. Everybody's so worried about themselves and their own line. The last thing they want to do is enter side by side. They don't mind fanning out in the line.
Yeah, exactly right, because you don't want to get in a position where you're a little bit loose. We see a battle there. It looks like Adam Newton looking underneath Mike McMillan to turn 3.
Yeah, Newton on the move early here, trying to assert himself underneath the smash burger, but hey, Mike McMillan, big run on the top side.
And that's the thing with that high side, Dean. The high side, you get that momentum. You're a little bit slower in the middle of the corner, but you get that momentum off the corner, and you're able to kind of hold those guys down at the same time. So it's kind of a really good position to be in if your car will run up there.
So far, excellent job by these guys. You know, we used to talk about it a lot, Jared. You get on one of these hot, slick tracks, everybody's thinking it's going to be a caution fest. Cautions all night, all over the track. And what happens? They run green because everybody's so focused.
And looking back through the field, Dean, we got some battles going on there with the 92 machine. Looked like he just cleared William Gay there, so moved Carl Thompson up one spot from the start. And looking back through the field, I mean, we have some battles way back in the pack, all the way through this field. I love it. Love to see this. I mean, we got Jacob Musel back here running down too wide off the corner, battling with the 17 of Daniel Blau. That's a battle for 30th position, Dean. These guys, I mean, they're wanting every spot out here tonight.
Yeah, Musial, a fan favorite out there. He's got work to do back in 30th. Got Chris Williams in front of him. Yadina in front of him in 28th. Back out front, having a look. It's still Ratliff. Ripka all over him. And I look for Ripka to possibly have a good night. I mean, I look for a lot of guys to have a good night, Jared, but Ripka, a champion of the Truck Series, a known long-run guy. I mean, he's got to love sitting here stalking in second right now.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what you got to do, right? You just got to stalk there, let the car kind of come to you, and see what these guys in front of you, you know, what their car is doing, and just try to make an effort when you see them make a mistake.
Now, Jared, you race a track like this, it's hot and loose. Sometimes you get behind a car, it can actually help you, can it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you're putting a little air, you're taking the air off that front of the nose, so it's going to make you a little bit tighter if you're loose. Plus, if you got a guy behind you, takes a little air off the rear end, helps the car get settled. So that kind of stuff is what you want. But as the run goes on, and you know maybe you're set up to be a little bit tighter, you want to get that air off the nose because it'll make you push a little bit more. But right now, I think everybody's kind of content to let somebody be out front and not have that clean air.
Adam Recker in the 11 looking to make moves here. He's underneath the Carl Thompson. Thompson holding strong on the high side. A battle for ninth right now. The 94 right in there of Dibble as well.
George Dibble, John Mankowski. This is a great battle. This is for ninth position. Just ahead of him, you know, we got Carl Thompson, William Gay up there as well. But these guys battling really hard for the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, they're going at it here. Here comes George Dibble in the 94 machine. So the McDonald's man coming up here. We got a smash burger and a McDonald's. We could have a burger battle here.
Yeah, I think I'll go with smash burger.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, McDonald's used to be a favorite to everybody when we were kids, but you know, it's fallen a little out of favor with some of us older folks.
For sure. Oh, loose Carl Thompson. My goodness, he got loose off the corner, Dean.
So Thompson down to the bottom now. That's going to bring Recker around on the high side. Then Mankowski right there, too.
And he just got up in, and that's the thing. When you run the high side, you put a lot more heat into the right rear because you're turning the car a lot less so that those weight loads, it's shifting diagonally on that right rear tire, right? So as you turn off the corner, it just kind of snaps on you. Exactly what happened to Carl Thompson. It's going to cost him 2 spots. Mankowski tried to slide up. Oh, my goodness, not a hole there, but Thompson lets him off easy there.
That was close, Jared. My goodness.
And Mankowski going to move up into the top 10. Thompson still under attack from the 88 of Paul K. Travis, and we have George Dibble trying to figure out a way around as well.
Yeah, Carl's under a lot of heat right now. This is what you don't want. You're a little bit nervous, you got a little loose, and now everybody's pouncing. You can't breathe for a minute here.
And Dean, right now, from first to 32nd, that's all kind of one pack, and it's strung out, and it's 10.5 seconds difference from first to 32nd right now. Unbelievable, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the wide view of the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by these guys. You look down from the blimp here, you can see Dibble in that McDonald's machine. Hard to miss him. Walker the second behind him. There's Olson in 15th, Hund. Gilly a little further back. You got Tony Ratliff, Fred Lester, Cale Seaman back here. That's your top 20 right there.
And Dean, I want to point out Eric Whiting. He's moved up 8 spots from where he started 31st all the way up to 23rd. Just kind of methodically picking his way through. He's been working on George Leal for a couple hours. Been paying attention to this battle just a little bit as he's trying to move up, but he has been our fast mover of the race so far.
Eric Whiting, he's a part of that newly formed team out there.
Right behind him is Eric Beller, last week's winner in that number 4 machine. Probably not having the race he wants, but, based on last week, Dean, I feel like Eric Beller is going to be one of those guys we're going to look at, and he's going to be around at the end of these races, maybe just taking his time right now.
Well, maybe, but I think, if I look closely in that car, Jared, I think I can see him drinking and smoking. I think he's still celebrating from last week.
He could be. The hangover is real. The hangover effect is real. That is for sure. But
that's United Motorsports there as a part of Eric Whiting. Sorry about that, Eric. A little slow on the trigger with that name. And he's blinked out there for a second. So Whiting up 8 spots. He's got Kulikowski coming underneath him right now. Something wrong with the 13.
Yeah, and sometimes when you see everybody disappear, that kind of makes you, jump out of the throttle a little bit. You're like, oh no, what's going on? We got a battle for the lead almost. As Lance Ripka was looking, but he decided against it. But right now, 3-car breakaway up front. That is Greg Ratliff, Lance Ripka, Buckshot, and Mike McMillan there in 3rd. And it's about a second and a half back to Adam Newton, Jason Spear, and Darren Bruce in that next little group.
Yeah, and I like what I'm seeing from Ripka and even McMillan. The leader here, it's great and everything, but what you talked about with tightening up the car a little bit, it's just more comfortable to run Atlanta just behind a guy. Just get it a little bit snugger, and you keep your car under you. He might even be able to pass him, and he's thinking, not yet. I want some more of these laps under me.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. And Mike McMillan also just kind of, I feel like he's just kind of like, scouting these two guys. I think he's like, hey, I got a good car. We kind of talked about the pre-race that Mike McMillan was around the garage. A lot of people thought Mike McMillan would be the guy to beat this week, maybe. Him and Lance Ripka, obviously Greg Ratliff, all these guys contenders up at the front of the pack. But I think he's just kind of lurking in the shadows to see what these guys can do here.
Yeah, we hop on board with Mike McMillan, and you can just see he's very, very gentle on the wheel. This is a necessary trait here at Atlanta. He's right down on that white line on entry. I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and you notice from that onboard camera, look how bouncy 3 and 4 is. I mean, it's like you're riding down one of those water slides at an amusement park game.
Absolutely. You hop back to Adam Newton, who's chasing these 3. Have a look at what we're seeing out of him. A little more turn in the wheel here.
Yeah, Adam's definitely fighting a tight condition. And we got, I'm watching these guys up front, and Greg Ratliff, I was on board Lance Ripka. He's loose. That rear end is starting to step out on Greg Ratliff here as this run goes on.
Very interesting. So Ripka a little bit loose. McMillan looking smooth. This is going to play well for him. Lap 22 of 104. Some guy's going to maybe try. I mean, you can't split it in half, Jared. What are we thinking here? Like into thirds at 34, 35 laps here?
Yeah, I'm looking at these lap times, right, Dean? So we started off at a 32.2. Okay, that was Lance Ripka's lap. That was the best lap of the race. Okay, so 32.2. We are running 33.5s right now, 22 laps into the race. So that is
the leaders too. Other guys running 33.8s and 9s.
Right. Exactly. So that's a second and a half fall off right now in 22 laps. It takes you, your pit in, pit out. You're looking at probably about a 2-minute time from pit in to pit out, and your laps involved there. So if you can stay on pit road one less time, that's going to equal out to more time. But at the same time, if you're one of these guys that's maybe eating your tires up a little bit, I mean, I think you start coming in probably around like lap 30 and go for that 3-stopper.
Maybe, Jared. I mean, it's going to be interesting what we see, what happens here. Like 24, we're on lap 24 right now. So anybody trying that strategy, I mean, the pit window's really open now. Oh, and Newton's loose. Down the track he goes.
Adam Newton.
Spear goes by. So does Darren Bruce, Adam Recker, all slip by him. 41 on pit road or coming off of pit road. That's Palmer coming in. So Palmer with an early stop. Schrader. No, he's not coming in. So the 41 is just coasting. I am not sure what's going on with David Palmer right now.
And Dave Palmer, I think, was just trying to get out of the way of the oncoming traffic, if I'm not mistaken, based on radio communications.
All right, going very, very slow. Ripka out front still, and he's gotten away a little bit now, or Ratliff from Ripka. So Ripka falls back about 10 car lengths now.
Yeah, we also had an incident. Didn't bring out a caution, but the 76 of Mark Schrader on lap 22, the 17 machine of Daniel Blau got loose in the tri-oval and just came up in front of the 76 machine, and that hood got ripped off that machine. Very heavy damage to the front of the 76. Didn't bring out a caution. The hood went right into the audience. So I hope everybody's okay up there in the digital audience.
Oh, the 44 of Gay running Bernard Person way up the track. A battle for 9th position. My goodness, great job by the 8 of giving him a lot of room there.
Yeah, now these things are starting to heat up. Everybody's starting to feel this handling start to go away on these cars.
Absolutely, they are. This battle rages on here. This battle for 8th position. Person on the outside of Gay.
Bernard Person doing a great job. He's running his race. Like, you know, when you look at the camera angle, it kind of looks like these guys are battling. But with Atlanta, you're also just trying to run your race, and where your car wants to run is where your car wants to run. And you kind of look at that, and Bernard Person just kind of running that high side, trying to run on that seam, get a little bit of grip, because those seams have a little bit extra grip there. And you see Gabe running really up the track, getting those right sides on that seam. He wants that turn off the corner.
Yeah, Gay in the 44, right where he started, in 8th place right now.
Another guy, Dean, that's moved up actually the most spots now is Austin Hunn. I was looking at him and looking at his lap times. He's really working that car right now, doing a great job up into the 12th position.
Yeah, awesome job by the NOS machine here. Looking sharp, too, I might add.
Yeah, he's really been hooking that bottom line. He's one of the few cars still running in the 33s around him as he's chasing down George Dibble. Little battle right behind him, but Dean, really exciting to see how green and clean this race has been so far.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. Approaching lap 30 here in the Atlanta 160. All green so far. Leader, Greg Ratliff right now, opening up about a half-second lead over Lance Ripka. Ripka moving up the track, and you got McMillan lurking in 3rd. A little further back, it's Darren Bruce with a little wiggle off the corner. Jason Spear in 5th, Recker in 6th, Newton 7th, being hounded now by Gay. Person right there, along with Carl Thompson right back in this thing.
George Dibble got up into the wall, Dean, and that's going to allow Austin Hunn to just run right by him. But Dibble got up there in turn 3 and 4. There's a little bit of a bump, and it'll kind of shoot you up the track if you hit it in the wrong spot. Exactly what happened to Dibble, but he stays under control, luckily.
Up our pit board here to keep an eye on things, see if anybody wants to come in and take tires here early on.
I think Palmer said he's pitting, but he's a lap down already.
Olson back here on the high side, right in front of him, Tony Ratliff and Paul K. Travis.
Look at these guys battling just ahead of them. And you know, I look at the front, Dean. I thought Lance Ripka was going to be able to make a move on Greg Ratliff, but he just didn't. Now he's actually lost some ground to him, and Mike McMillan's dropped back off of him as well. So these guys starting to space out even more now.
It could be prep for stops, not too sure. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Wow, Carl Thompson on the high side here in the 92. He makes it work, gets a big run off the corner.
Oh, he gets in the grass, or somebody in front of him gets in the grass. That might have been Adam Newton, I think, maybe in the grass. This is a big battle right here. Look at these guys. Look at the different lines we're running here. I mean, this is you love to see this kind of action on the track.
You do. It's a little scary out there at times, but these guys all doing a great job. You see several guys way up the track. Gay's up there, Person's up there, Thompson a little lower.
And Adam Newton's coming in pit road.
late.
Newton's coming in.
So Newton comes in, good stop by him, nice and clean. That's what you want to see. So the 2 machine first in.
So he's committed to a 2-stop, I think, Dean.
Well, definitely on a 2-stopper. There's no doubt about that. Now, to make it a
3-stopper.
1-stopper, you're going to have to do over 50 laps. That's a tall order. I guess it could be done by some. And I like Newton coming in, kind of like you said, a little bit early. Here comes McMillan.
Somebody else coming on pit road. That's, McMillan coming in.
And Bruce as well.
Yep.
So Palmer is already in. I think Palmer might be done for the night. Back out front, Ratliff and Ripka got to be thinking, and we're going to hop on board with, let's go on board with Ripka and just see if these guys come in or one of them does.
Ripka going to the high side here, so I don't think he's going to come in this lap. He's going to stay out.
Yeah, they're staying out. No go for them, so very interesting.
You see right there.
He's in. Beller is wrecking, and he hits the inside wall, but he gets it slowed down enough. We seen this last week. He almost wrecked on entrance, and he won the race.
Yeah, but that's got some damage on the right front there, or left front. Sorry, that might hurt him here.
Whitford in as well.
Nicholas
Godina is in. Here comes Wrecker.
John Mankowski on pit road as well.
Hund coming in. So lots of guys. Travis, Leal also coming on pit road. Our leaders, though, still out on the track.
And this is where you make your money, Dean, right? This is where you make your money because you're sitting here trying to figure out when you come on pit road, what's the strategy going to be like, and getting on and off pit road. You can lose so much time. Not to mention you got guys on fresh tires now. Look at them. Oh, here comes the leaders now, Dean.
Yep, Ripka, Ratliff, both in. Both looking clean here. Spear's going to follow him in. He looks clean as well. Here comes Person,
Busy.
Thompson. Thompson comes in a little hot.
Busy
Yep.
pit road. There's got to be 15, 20 cars on pit road.
There is the Ratliff, Seaman, Gilly, Whiting, all in.
Right now, William Gay leading. He's going to take over the lead. Michael Walker, the second. Scott Olson, Mickey Spear, and Jacob Musel. Fred Lester, the only ones that have yet to pit yet.
It's a very interesting pits on 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. Gay continues. Walker continues. Olson still out. Spear. Here comes Musial. So Musial will come in now.
Some very conservative pit entrances from somebody back here. They're just coming on. That's Mickey Spear and Jacob Musel. They actually came on off of turn 3 there. But better be safe than sorry. You don't want to make a mistake and wreck.
Yeah, definitely safety first, as they say. William Gay, our leader, and he's got heat. They're almost 3 wide. My goodness. You don't like that kind of heat on old tires around here. Olson comes in.
Yeah, and that's the thing about staying out is you're now at the beck and call of all these guys on fresh tires. But, boy, this whole field has gotten all over the place.
Now
I think it's...
Question here, can anybody make it? The answer is absolutely not.
No. I don't mind the strategy by William Gay. You get yourself a caution, and you save a little gas, you might be able to make this work in your favor as he's coming on pit road right now. Michael Walker's staying out, though.
Yeah, Michael Walker going to lead a lap here, the 22 machine. And, I don't mind it later on. You don't have to pit. Your tires will be fresher than everybody else's. And like you said, you get a caution. Even if it doesn't benefit you, as in getting guys a lap down or something, you will have fresher tires. There are tire limits here.
So Lester, Blau, and Michael Walker the second are the only ones that have yet to pit. Michael Ware the third, and Mark Schrader all out of the race right now.
There's Lester in the 78 machine. So that's when it all shakes out. It looks like it's going to be McMillan who pitted on lap 34. Advantage, Mike McMillan.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about 1.3 seconds or so above Darren Bruce. So good job. You look at those pit lane times. Bruce was the fastest, 38.4. He was a second quicker. I'm looking through the pit times. He was a second quicker than everybody. Dean, getting on off pit road.
Yeah, and we've seen that consistent from Darren. I'm not sure how he's doing it, but it's practice, people. More than anything else, you got to practice. So as pit stops pretty much cycle through, Michael Walker II still leading, still needs to pit. He's got a 20-second lead over what will, whoa, and there goes a car by him. You see how fast, that's the 93 of Mankowski blowing right by him.
And keep this in mind, Michael Walker is running 34 flats right now. Mike McMillan is doing 32 twos. 2.2 seconds quicker a lap. So, you know, he is really starting to hemorrhage time. He's going to come out, I'm guessing he's going to come out 30th-ish, 29th.
Yeah, we got Daniel Blau out here on the track still, too, and he's about 3 seconds slower than our, you know, guys on fresh tires. So he's got to come in sometime, but I like it. When you go with a strategy, go with it, Jared. He's going to ride this out maybe till his tank is empty, hoping for a caution. And I say that, of course, he comes in right now.
Well, I like Michael Walker because he, you know, Dean, if he can just clutch and save here, I mean, he's only got to save about 8 laps. I mean, that's a lot. But can he make this a one-stopper?
Oh, well, even if he could, he is already down to 15 seconds. Mike McMillan is going to catch him by the time he gets to 52. So, I mean, or close. Maybe not catch him, but be pretty close. So, I don't think it's a winning strategy nonetheless. He might win a few positions, though.
Yeah, I don't think the trade-off, and he's coming in, so this is kind of bizarre that he's switching out, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's got short stints now, right? So he's going to have, 60 laps left. He can go 30-30. Everybody else got to go a little longer each stop. Advantage to him the next 2 stints, and he's going to need it.
So
McMillan,
turn it over.
Yeah, he is going to assume the lead here. And he's got the old saying on here, boogity, 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 let's go smash burger. I mean, wow, man likes his smash burgers.
Hey, I can't blame him. Great place. So, Mike McMillan, you know, what I'm looking at, Dean, is Greg Ratliff did not get off of pit road. He got on pit road. Darren Bruce is by far and away the best, but everybody else was in the 39-second range on the in lap, but the out lap, Greg Ratliff lost a ton of time, nearly about 3 seconds slower exiting the pits than Mike McMillan was on that passing.
Yeah, it's so key out here. You see Ripka in 4th. There's Newton in 5th. And then it's Wrecker in 6th. Jason Spear has lost a little time, but he might have stayed out a little longer, been a little fresher tire now. Person in 8th. You got Hund, who's up 12 spots now. He's in 9th. And Carl Thompson is passing Mankowski as we speak for 10th.
Yeah, now our big gainer is Eric Beller, up 14 positions. He's the guy that smacked the wall last week's winner. So he's maybe that smacking the walls is a good luck charm, Dean.
I think he needs it. You know, I used to need my old man to smack me in the head to get me right. Maybe,
there you go.
Maybe
it didn't work very well.
Well,
it didn't work
no,
very well.
it doesn't. I think I got CTE from it.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Explains a lot.
Absolutely, it does. I might have a violent outburst. Watch out. Mike McMillan, your race leader. Ratliff now coming by Bruce. So Ratliff flying. Bruce way up the track, letting him go. Very interesting here.
And keep in mind, Greg Ratliff, 3 lap fresher tires than McMillan. Well, somebody's loose behind him. Who is that on the apron? Couldn't tell. Maybe
I think it's not Newton. It's someone not in the top 5. So someone who's a lap down. I'm not too sure.
We'll get an eye on that camera for you.
But yeah, that's a dangerous corner, and you'll see that from time to time here at Atlanta. Anybody out there in YouTube land, you go ahead and shout out your favorite drivers. We'll get a look in on them and talk a little bit about them. Maybe poke a little fun at them, if that's all right.
That's what we like to do. We like to have a good time. We have a great crew here at Wind Tunnel TV. Glad to be bringing you this Xfinity Winston Cup Series presented by RGR Racing. Apologies. What a great race so far, Dean.
Yeah, it's awesome because we really don't know at this point in the race what's going to happen here. I mean, we have to wait and see. We don't know how this is going to shake out. You see Dibble back in 12th, Tony Ratliff 13th, Jason Ratliff in 14th. Like, these guys in this area aren't necessarily out of it because they could have fresher tires. You just don't know what this gravity is.
And just going back to that car that we saw loose, that was Fred Lester in the 78. He's one lap down in 30th position, so he was the one that got up in the wall, got up in the marbles, got really loose, but did a good job hanging on to it.
Well, someone I'd like you to look in on here is the 44, William Gay, currently in 16th. Was it just a late pit stop that got him back here? Or did he have some kind of problem, a bad pit time or pit lap? I'm not sure what happened.
So looking at the pit lap times, he was actually the second slowest pit entry. The only slower one was Eric Beller. We saw he had an incident going on pit road, Dean, and I'm looking back at his entry to pit road, and nothing strikes me as interesting or bad or anything like that. He just was very slow getting on pit road compared to these other guys. Getting off pit road also lost some time, kind of got caught up with some lap traffic on exit, can't get onto the track.
All right, well, something to put in the memory banks for later. I mean, when you get to 35 cars and you get a lot of talent out here, pit road can be the difference.
Yeah, it is, and we have 28 of those 35 drivers still on the lead lap. We have 4 guys a lap down, with Fred Lester being the first of those, Darrell Whitford, Chris Williams, 13, and Daniel Blau, the other 3. David Palmer is still on the track. He's 10 laps down, and we have 2 retirements right now, Mark Schrader and Michael Ware.
So Mike McMillan is falling now. He's fallen to 3rd. We're going to do a little replay here and see this pass by our new old race leader, Greg Ratliff. You see him come through the corner, just a little bit better drive off there, comes right underneath the 80, and the 80 will probably give it up here on entrance, and he does. Easy pass from the 5 machine.
Yeah, and Ripka and Greg Ratliff have 3-lap newer tires. Really, McMillan's kind of racing Darren Bruce. I mean, they're both pitting on lap 34, Adam Newton on lap 33. So they're the guys that are kind of what he'd be racing against as far as like the pit strategy he's on right now, I would think.
See Mankowski battling here. He's behind George Dibble. Dibble sitting in 11th, a little bit loose. That's going to bring Mankowski up to his outside. And he's going to back off and just follow him through there. It's a scary track, people. I can't tell you how hard this thing is to drive. Let's hop on board with George Dibble right here and just see what he's dealing with.
And you look on board heading into turn number 1, Dean, and you see the car. He's just on the wheel. He's just trying not to turn it too much because he doesn't want to over-rotate it. Slide that car up. He's a little tight, actually, Dean. He had to get out of the gas right there. Had a little push loose at the end.
Is he overdriving it there a little bit off the throttle, Jared? Or?
It kind of sounded like it. Then he goes into the corner here, and he's washing up really hard on the steering wheel right now. Maybe that car is just not handling the way he wants it to right now.
Do you think it could be purposeful, like he's trying to burn off the right front to tighten that thing up a bit?
It could be. I'm listening to that throttle in turn 1. He's just a little bit easy on the throttle, but right here it just seems like the car just pushed loose to me. You see that little snap there at the end.
Yeah, very dangerous condition. Gay starting to work on Olson, so Scott Olson in 14th, William Gay back in 15th after a poor pit stop here.
Yeah, a guy I'm looking at, lap time wise, Tony Ratliff, the 6 machine. I mean, he is running 33.4s right now. Now that was lap 33.5 right there, but he came in on lap 37, just like the race leaders, but he just did not have great track position. Started 17th, he's up to 13th. So, he's just trying to get that track position. It kind of shows just how hard it is to move forward in such a tight field here, Dean.
Yeah, very difficult here. the 6 machine down underneath of John Mankowski. So Tony Ratliff comes on through. You see this a lot from Tony. He makes moves. How about Austin Hahn? He's underneath Adam Newton. So Hahn continuing his march towards the front. He's up 13, well 12 now. Newton fights back on the outside.
Yeah, good battle here. We know how wily Adam Newton is. I mean, he is a guy that we've watched for, 5 years now, Dean, basically at this point. I mean, he's gotten better every time. So he's not going to – he's figured out some tricks of the trade right there. Oh, it gets loose off the corner. Oh, my goodness. I thought he had that thing wrecked. He's still loose on the straightaway.
That's a trick right there.
My goodness gracious, he almost wrecked that thing.
Yeah, overdriving perhaps a little bit. Well, that goes on right in front of them. Wrecker and Person going at it. Person continuing on the high side. A little touch of the wall from Wrecker.
I feel like I might have commentary cursed Adam Newton there. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we do each and every week.
And Wrecker looking on the inside of Bernard Person. Another wily vet. I mean, Bernie, he is a wily vet. I cannot underscore that enough.
Yeah, absolutely is. He's a danger to win any race, any time. It's all health related with Bernie and how he's feeling. He's way up the track here. Wow. Giving lots of room. Big run. I don't think Wrecker's going to, wiggle on that high side. That's going to give it up, I think.
Yeah, I like that move, especially if you're loose, Dean. You can run up there against that wall, put a little arrow effect from the wall on that right rear and kind of help you turn if you're fighting that right rear. He's loose off the corner, so that's what he was doing. He's trying to get a little air on that right rear, Dean. He's loose. A lot of looseness this run.
A lot of looseness, a lot of different lines. Battle for the lead. Ratliff stays on the low line. Ripka coming with a lot of power from the high side. Ratliff forces him down to the bottom where he hasn't been driving. He takes the high side. They battle to the line for the race lead.
Oh, Ratliff a little bit loose, but Ripka cannot close it down. He's just trying to manage that throttle and just couldn't get the power down. And Greg Ratliff going to pull back out. Ripka goes back to the high, back to the high side there.
Another drink for Jared in the booth, and we'll be fine. Oh, and he's a little loose off. So these guys are fighting it. Wow, chasing that car around is Greg Ratliff.
Something to keep in mind, Dean, looking at the weather here. So the wind has shifted just a little bit from the start. We were at the beginning of this race. We had the wind coming out of the northwest at 15 miles an hour. We have it at 8 miles an hour out of the north right now. The other thing that's doing is cooling this track down. We started off the race at 123-degree track temp, 81 air temp. We're down to 80 air temp, a 118 track temp. So it's about 4 degrees difference, and that's probably why this track's starting to loosen up a little bit, Dean.
Well, in corner to corner, back in that corner, it dropped all the way to 3. We'll look at it through this corner. It goes up to 6, 7, still climbing.
Yeah, that's pushing you into that corner, too. That explains why everybody's getting loose off turn 4, because that wind is actually pushing you off that corner right now.
Interesting to see that. I haven't seen that too many times, a big difference in the corners like that.
Amazing stuff. Ripka on the high side. He's going to get a run off the corner. Put Lance Ripka into the lead, Dean.
Yeah, Lance Ripka, your new race leader. We thought he might be good here. He is good here. He's going to stay with that middle lane versus going to the bottom. Behind him, Ratliff continuing to fight, trying to hold in there.
He's in the pits.
And he's coming in. Love it. Lap 65. Ratliff says, you going to pass me? I'm going to come into pit.
Wow, dude, that is a great strategy by Greg Ratliff. I love it. Bring these guys in. Let them play your race. Don't play into their race.
Yeah, speaking of a wily vet move, that's it right there, Jared.
Big time. I love that move. That could be a race-winning move if this comes into it.
So the 5 clean into his stall. What will Ripka do? Ripka coming around. And doesn't look like he's coming in, so Ripka's going to play his own game and not worry about it. So is McMillan. There's Bruce starting to chase him down here, the 15 on the move. Wrecker in 4th with Jason Spear on his back. He's in 5th. Then it's Person, or that's Hun underneath a Person right now. So Hun taking the spot away. We're trying.
You know, I wanted to give you a little bit of update. Some stuff has gone on while all this battling's gone on. We had Paul K. Travis come down pit road and retire. Maybe a mechanical issue. I'm not real sure what happened there. Then we also had Eric Beller. He got up into the wall coming off of turn 4, hit the wall, and almost got into the back end of Eric Whiting. I mean, there couldn't have been a paper between them. No contact, but a lot of damage on the 4 machine. He had to come down pit road for extensive repairs.
So Ripka's in, Mankowski's in, and he's barely in. George Leal in behind him. Everybody, this is lap 68. So these guys, 34, 34, they'll have to do 36 to finish it.
Mike McMillan heading in, Dean, from the lead. And Darren Bruce is in.
Wow, Darren Bruce all these short pitters rather than saving tires, but they're taking the short pit here.
Yeah, sorry, I just got so distracted by how quick Darren Bruce got into pit road there. That was oh my goodness, Mike McMillan gets dumped out.
61 of Olson losing it.
Sorry, Dean, there's so much action on pit road. The 97 was leaving pit road and almost shoved Mike McMillan out into the grass as he was exiting. Nearly had damage and contact there.
Wow, craziness on pit road. Wrecker to the lead right now. He'll stay out. Still no chatters out in YouTube land. Anybody wants to get their car shouted out, give us a little holler in there.
Yeah, we're lonely up in the booth. We like to hear from fans.
That's right. Hund is in. Thompson's in. Whiting is in. Gilly, haven't talked about Gilly. Gilly comes in, and he came in from about 11th place, so Gilly not having a terrible night himself here.
And Adam Recker going to take over the lead, but he is going to lead 1 lap and head to the pits, Dean.
This is a good stop from Recker, entering in at the appropriate point. He comes in.
That was a smooth stop. And the one thing Adam Recker did, he avoided all the chaos of pit road. He's the only guy on pit road right now. Turns the lead over to Jason Spear.
Yeah, Newton and Tony Ratliff are in. Jason Spear, you're right, a race leader here. So Spear going to get an important point as the 80 of McMillan comes underneath him with that fresh rubber. Makes him look like he's standing still.
And
Spear
he's coming
looks
in.
Like he's coming, yeah. So he comes in. That hands it over to Dibble now in the McDonald's machine.
Dibble's going to stay out. That car looks like it's handling a little bit better than it was earlier. Not fighting that wheel as much as he's going to pick up a bonus point there. This race is flying by, Dean.
Absolutely. Green flag action here at Atlanta. George Dibble leading. Michael Walker the second. Currently in second, not far behind. These guys do have to pit. Ratliff has come off pit road with about a 2-second lead to Lance Ripka. Dibble comes in.
Dibble comes in.
So Walker going to be on an island right now. He's got a 13-second lead, and it's being absolutely decimated right now by those fresh tires.
Yeah, and he also stayed out to lap 45. So, you know, is he going to stay out till 90? I wouldn't think so, but you never know.
You never know. I mean, why not? Let's ride it out until you're passed, right? You got 12-second lead. That'll give you roughly 10 laps or so here. He can ride and hope for a caution.
Mankowski unlaps himself, so that leaves us with 11 cars on the lead lap right now. I'd say Olson and Newton are going to unlap themselves within a lap here as well.
Darren Bruce in fourth. He's got the 84 right with him. That's Ken Allen there. Allen to lap down.
We got 3 guys that have not pitted. Michael Walker, Fred Lester, and also Daniel Blau. All have not pitted yet. Yeah, we're going to have 3 wide off the corner with the leader. Nope. Adam Newton backs out of it, so 2 wide.
So it was Walker. Oh, yeah, Walker in a gaggle here.
3 cars unlapping themselves. Hund, Newton, and Olson. Here comes George Leal behind him.
Yeah, that's 1 lap. There's still a lap down at that point.
These guys trying to get back on the lead lap. And they're all going to go around him.
They're not going to get on the lead lap now, though, Jared. They are 2 laps down, these guys. So Walker's 9 seconds ahead of our race leader. Or maybe I'm sorry. I'll back off that statement, folks. It's a Canadian thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was sitting here like, hey, maybe they are 2 laps down.
No. Little brain fart there. It happens from time to time. Not enough booze in the system, folks.
Hey, you got to get it in there. I know how it is. Michael Walker continuing to pace this field. I mean, these are crucial bonus points, Dean. I don't know how it's going to line up, but is he going for that extra bonus point for leading the most laps? I mean, if so, I mean, this could pay off for him.
I mean, he might get it just by doing that. Adam Newton just set his fastest lap of the race, and the fastest lap, I think, or very close to it, a 32.06. Actually, Dibble just bested him with a 32.04, so the track getting faster somehow.
Yeah, we're down to 116 now, 115.5 on the exacto. So this thing's starting to cool down.
32.02, so people are really heating up here. And you see some of the shadows creeping onto the track, Jared.
This has been a heck of a race. Really impressed by these guys. Everybody really courteous and just running a really fun race to call tonight.
Yeah, and it's not like they're laying down either. There's some hard racing. They're just not getting into each other.
There's the 26 machine. There's the 44 to the outside of Walker. He's going to squeeze through there. My goodness.
Put it where they ain't. My goodness, Walker survives. Greg Ratliff now only 5 seconds behind the race leader. Ripka all over him. So Ripka, we're going to check our pit board here, and you can see it's Ratliff on 65, Ripka on 67, 2-lap fresher tires, and you got Bruce, who's a little fresher than that, but he's 4 seconds back.
Yeah, once again, well, actually, this time, Adam Newton, the fastest pit entry so far at 38.4. Bruce also at 38.4 as well. So they're gaining time on pit road entry. Lance Ripka 39, Ratliff 39.7. So some big differences there. Kulikowski.
Stevie Knight looking in on Jason Spear, his uncle. Let's check in with Jason. Jason having a good run here. Just set some fast lap times. The last few laps, he's one of the fastest guys on the track, or the fastest guy. He's in 8th, and he's got Wrecker right in front of him. So he's going to pick up a couple more if we go green here, but with 25 to go, I don't know how much more he's going to get than 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, I think that he's got an opportunity here. You look at Bernard Persson about a second and a half up. You got Adam Wrecker right in front of him. That's kind of where he's looking at. I think, 6th place is kind of his biggest thing. He's got a 4-second lead on Adam Newton as well.
Lester comes in. Battle between Ripka and Ratliff heating up. Ripka doing his thing again, stalking him here, Jared.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. And this is where this is the money round, right? This is where everything comes down to it. And that tire advantage that Lance Ripka's got, he can pocket that. He can save tire right now. He can try to pounce on the lead. He's got this thing. He's got Greg Ratliff right where he wants him, in my opinion.
Well, he does, but what did Greg Ratliff learn from earlier on? Did he save a little something here? Is he learn how to block him a little bit better? You got to be wary of that as Greg Ratliff continues to hold on. We're coming down to 22 to go here in the Atlanta 160.
These guys doing such a good job, and right now it's going to come down to it between these two guys. I mean, Ripka running a little bit higher in 1 and 2 right now, but he's just not able to close up on exit.
We got lap traffic right in front of him as we head on board with Buckshot Ripka here. And this is going to be interesting. Ratliff looking for a place to go, can't figure out where. Car pulls off to the bottom. That might help him out here, but here he goes. Oh, it looked like Ripka's going to make a move, decided better of it.
Yeah, I think he thought maybe that lap car was going to go all the way to the bottom, and he kind of didn't. Here's Michael Walker. This is a battle for the lead, actually. Here's Ratliff just blows by him.
Yeah, and Walker's got to come in now. He's got to ditch that strategy. It's over now. You come in, take your pit, and I think he'll do just that.
Yeah, you got to with 20 to go. You got to try, unless you think you can stretch it all the way out, I think you have to come in. Otherwise, you're just going to hemorrhage time at this point.
I mean, you could get a caution and be in 3rd or something, Jared, and still,
I think that's a good point.
Maybe he rides it out a little bit longer.
And that might be what he thought he could do as well. That might be what his strategy was the whole time. Ripka with a big run off the corner. Sorry, Dean.
Yep, Ripka looking high. He's got the lead coming to the corner. Ken Ratliff battle back and hold him off. Way up the track to 52. Buckshot Ripka looking for the lead. He's going to get it here.
He's going to pull himself into the front. Ratliff, not much of a fight he could put up there, and Ripka up to the lead with less than 20 laps to go here tonight.
Wow. Great job by the 52. A little further back, you got Michael Walker sitting there, and there's Darren Bruce. He's right there battling with the 84. I think that's Alland. It is Alland. Alland fighting him, and Alland's a lap down. He might have fresher tires, though, as he comes on through.
Yeah, he does. He does have fresher tires by about 3 laps.
So Darren doesn't look like he's making much progress right now. You got Mike McMillan in the Smashburger. He's running 33 twos. So interesting to see between him and Bruce who holds on. Spear has made his way up to 6 already. So wow, Stevie Knight watching. And I'm telling you, the 83 has surprised me at how quickly he got up past Person, past Wrecker. So he is on the move, running a 33.14, fastest man out there right now.
He's got the freshest tires of that lead group, so he might get himself in a good position here, Dean. But, looking at, Darren Bruce and these guys, Ken Allen was moving forward, but Ken Allen is also chasing down Jacob Musil and Todd Toadman Gilly right there as well. So that's the thing when these races get kind of strung out and everybody's on different strategies. There's a lot of guys that are battling. You're like, oh, you're a lap down. You're fighting me. Why are you fighting me? Well, it's because I got an opportunity to get 19th or 20th or whatever the position may be. And that's what Ken Allen's trying to do, chase down those 2 guys in front of him.
Well, let's go ahead and run down from 10th on back. You got Austin Hund here. He's up 11 spots. Doing really good tonight. Passed a ton of cars, the 95 has. Scott Olson, very quiet evening for Scott. He just ran his race. He's down 1 spot from where he started, just outside of the top 10. Pretty solid night for the 61. Tony Ratliff up 5 spots. You got Mankowski in 13th. He's up 2. Then how about George Leal here, Jared? We haven't talked much about the 97 machine. He's up 8 spots.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, doing good lap times. He's in that battle we were kind of talking about. Mankowski, Carl Thompson, George Dibble, George Leal. They're all kind of wrapped in there together, and that's going to be interesting to see how that runs out at the end of the race. We know how these races kind of a concertina back up at the end.
They really do. Concertina, I love it. Little shout out to Joe, Concertina Joe. 92 of Carl Thompson here in 15th and Dibble in 16th. They're fighting for position as Walker comes on to pit road. Jason Ratliff back in 17th. He's up 6. You got Kulikowski in the 7 machine. He's in 18th. Eric Whiting up 12 spots here, but still in 19th. Not the night he'd be hoping for, but also nothing wrong with moving up 12 spots.
And he's the last car on the lead lap as well. As we go back into 20th, that's Todd Toadman Gilly there in that number 19 machine. Behind him, Jacob Musil. Right behind him, actually, there's a battle actually for 20th position right there on the screen between Todd Toadman Gilly, Jacob Musil, and Ken Allen. That's the battle for 20th. Then we have Cale Seaman. He's about 2 seconds behind this group. Michael Walker could be a factor as he's just coming off pit road, and he'll be right around this area as well. Mickey Spear in 23rd, Fred Lester 25th right now.
Yeah, Mickey Spear back there having himself a decent night. Lester absolutely flying around the track with fresh rubber right now, but 25th. Gay, wow, Gay had some problems. Fast car tonight in 26th. He's going to be disappointed. Daryl Whitford back in 27th currently. And you got Beller. Beller's had an exciting evening, a little incident on pit road, and another one you were talking about, Jared.
Yeah, tough race for Beller, last week's winner there. And Dean, I look back at William Gay. It looks like he may have sped entering pit road. We we didn't catch that live, but he got on pit road fine, but sat in the box for a while, indicating like maybe a issue with the penalty.
Yeah, Gadina and Blau 29th and 30th. Chris Williams currently running 31st. Palmer back in 32nd. And I think the rest are retired. And Travis Schrader and Michael Ware back up front. Buckshot Ripka out there leading. He's opening it up, folks. Open up about a 2-second lead now.
Yeah, he's done a great job. And that's that hard to believe, but 2-lap different tires is just giving him just enough of an advantage right now, Dean. He's doing a great job. But the battle I'm looking in is the battle for that last podium spot. Darren Bruce and Mike McMillan battling hard for this position. And you have Jason Spear, who is faster than both these guys, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get involved in this battle.
Yeah, he's about 6 seconds back, so this battle probably for our third place. McMillan a little stronger as of late. Willie put it in there. Jason Ratliff comes in for a late pit stop here to 55. Unscheduled, I got to think.
Yeah, that is a tough break for Jason Ratliff. Maybe didn't get enough fuel in that machine. Continuing to look at this race, Dean, and what can you say about Lance Ripka tonight? Buckshot Ripka doing a great job, just maintaining, just kind of really stalking Greg Ratliff. It looked like that first run looked like Ratliff kind of had the advantage. The second run, I felt like it was a little bit more even. Even Mike McMillan looked a little bit better than both these guys. But when it came to go to the pay window, here's Lance Ripka up the front.
Yeah, I mean, Ripka just is so solid on the long run. And the thing I like about, I always talk about champions and championships. Well, Ripka's a champion. He knows what he's doing. He thinks out these races. And it seemed to me he was playing a little game of cat and mouse there. And, he definitely was not the mouse. McMillan moving on by Darren Bruce right now.
Yeah, this is that battle for that last spot on the podium, Dean, and that's where I think these guys are battling hard, and McMillan's going to get around him on the outside there.
Well, McMillan, you look at his picture, he's got Mulder on there. You think he's got some alien technology on board or something?
He could very well. I mean, that would make sense with the smash burger.
So Bruce starting to come under heat. I think that's Michael Walker, the third in the 22 machine. It is. So he's starting to make some of his spots back, but he's got a long ways to go yet.
Yeah, he's about a second behind Todd Gilly and about 2 seconds behind Ken Allen. That would be 19th and 20th. I think he'll get involved in that battle. I don't think it'll be much of a battle because he'll be able to kind of blow by these guys, I think.
Adam Recker now putting Jason Spear under heat. How about the 11 machine, Jared?
Yeah, Recker, he led a few laps tonight, got himself a bonus point, as did Jason Spear, but Recker, let Jason Spear go earlier. He does have 1 lap older tires, which isn't much of a difference, but at Atlanta it is. And he's chasing him down. This could be a nice battle for the final spot in the top 5. Recker to the outside.
Yeah, Recker making a move here. I love it. Spear kind of goes in and takes his line away a little bit.
That's a smart move by Spear there, but he's not going to be able to close the gap up. Will he close the door? No, he's going to let Recker have it. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, I'm not. They're going to race side by side. Spear's not going to give it away, but he's not going to wreck him either. Recker got the preferred line, I guess, on the high side right now. Spear a little loose. Looked like he had to get out of it just a little bit. The 11 going to come on through.
He battled back a little bit. I thought Jason might have a good shot.
He
does. He's staying with them.
He threw it in there. Spear will not give up. 4 to go. Jason Spear going to fight for this position.
Let's watch that battle just to give you guys an update. The lead, 2.1 seconds. Lance Ripka, Mike McMillan, 4.4 back in third. Bruce in fourth. And then this is really the only battle on track in the top 5, but it looks like it's kind of over at this point.
Yeah, a little further back, you got Olsen trying to hold off Hun for 9th. Hun coming and charging. He's got Tony Ratliff with them, so 9th, 10th, and 11th battling here with 3 to go. Lance Ripka, your race leader.
Yeah, and I wonder, this is a kind of a good battle here for ninth. I mean, these guys, all three of them running different lines, and this is the point where you get these points, Dean, as the race goes on,
Yeah,
as the season goes
absolutely.
on.
I mean, these are where you can lose some or you can lose them all. Nothing stupid here, Jared.
Exactly. Right now, these guys are all running pretty much the same lap time, so I don't, unless somebody start. Oh, and Ratliff is in the wall. That's Jason Ratliff. Tony Ratliff in the wall, and that'll end his chance of getting into the top 10 as he smacked it good off turn 4.
Yeah, and I don't think Dibble will get to him, but I don't know. He is running awful slow right now. But out front, it's going to be Lance Ripka taking the white flag here. So 1 lap for Buckshot Ripka to take this victory here in the Atlanta 160.
And what a job by Lance Ripka tonight. Ran his race, right? I mean, he ran his race, did what he needed to do, and ended up getting himself in a great position here. He's going to come up against some lap traffic, and I think he's just going to wheel this home, Dean.
Yeah, absolutely. An awesome job. The 52 through 4, down, ready to take the checkered flag here. He'll be victorious in Atlanta. Great job by him. Ratliff, Greg that is, will come in second. Mike McMillan third. Bruce right there in fourth. Wrecker wins that battle for fifth. Jason Spears sixth. Person, Newton, oh, and Olson is going to be your top. Well, Hund actually makes it in the top 10. Good night for Austin Hund.
Yeah, and you got Tony Ratliff will come on 11th, Dibble 12th, Carl Thompson, George Leal, John Mankowski, your top 15. Adam Kulakowski, in 16th. Eric Weidinger, biggest mover of the race, up 14 positions, finishes 17th. Michael Walker, he led several laps, but that strategy just didn't pay off quite enough for him. He'll get 18th, Musel 19th, and Ken Allen rounds out your top 20 to 19. But what a win for Lance Ripka here tonight.
Yeah, awesome job. Love what I've seen out of him. He's posing right now, Jared. It's like he's laying on a couch like old George from Seinfeld.
Exactly right. He is doing those perfect circle donuts on the start finish line as Lance Ripka grabs that win. What a job by him tonight.
Yeah, awesome race all around. Can't wait to talk to these guys. We'll do that momentarily. Right now, let's take it. And we looked in on the 87 cars there. A little nostalgia. I don't know if you've driven those, Jared, but they're a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, excellent car on the service if you like some old school racing, Dean.
So we bring up our race results here. This will show you the top 20 we've already gone through. So we'll look a little further down here and you can see your favorite driver and where they may have finished tonight and some of the good or bad luck that they might have. You see William Gay back here in 25th, Beller in 26th. So guys had some rough things happen to them. And of course, others like Paul K. Travis probably wasn't looking for a 33rd tonight. But, there's lots of season left. We're only in race 2 here, Jared.
Yeah, and already that's the season. Daytona, kind of, you don't know what you're going to get. Atlanta is kind of a more traditional racetrack, right? So I think we're going to see, where everybody starts to stack out here as these races go on.
Yeah, we're definitely going to find out. I mean, this was a good indication. Hot laying out here, and we bring in the Smash Burger machine. That's Mike McMillan out there with a 3rd place finish tonight. Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks a lot, Dean. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it, man. Tell us a little bit about, the trials and tribulations here of Hotlanta.
Yeah, just a lot of lapsed traffic tonight, seemed like. So that was a little scary. But other than that, pretty straightforward.
So early on, Mike, you're sitting there in 3rd. You're taking your time. Lance is right there as well. Greg's leading, I do believe. My memory's not what it used to be, Mike. But it looked like you were being very patient and very calm. Were you a little surprised that you weren't able to make a move on these guys later in the run?
No, I was not. And I'm hoping someday to get to go against these guys in the open setups because I'm pretty sure where I'm going to finish in the fixed setups.
Well, hey, if you're pretty sure you're going to finish third, that's not so bad, Mike. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's about 32 of them that wish we were up in your spot right now. So I'd say job well done. And, so you talk about it, the Xfinity car. Obviously, you like open sets, but this car was a lot like an open set tonight. I mean, loose. You had to fight it. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, for sure. I was just trying to drive it like a road racing car and keep that rear end under me. And yeah, I
I,
kind of got into a rhythm and was able to just repeat the same exact thing lap after lap. So
so what you're saying is you did not have alien technology in the car.
no, actually, I kind of liked it. It wasn't too overly loose if I was just careful with the gas pedal.
Little X Files reference there. I'm sure our listeners got it. But Mike, hey, congrats on third, man. A hell of a run tonight. Can't wait to see what you'll do next week and the rest of the season. You get any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank? Please do.
Alrighty, thanks. This is one of my only two good tracks, so we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But I just wanted to thank everybody in the league. I wanted to thank Todd. I wanted to thank George. Just such a great league. A lot of good guys, so can't say that enough.
All right, Jared. That was Mr. Mike McMillan in the Smash Burger machine finishing third place tonight.
Yeah, and I'm down here on pit road talking with Greg Ratliff, who won the pole, dominated that first opening run, and looked like he might be in line for the win tonight, Greg, but just let it. Lance Ripka was able to grab you at the end there.
Yeah, we were just down there talking, and he ran 2 extra laps after I pitted, and that probably played a little bit of a role in him being quite a bit better there at the end. But he's just good here, Tip of the hat to him. He's got this place figured out, and he got the job done.
Let's talk about how your race went. I mean, at the beginning of the run, you opened up. I mean, it looked like it was really just three of you guys, Ripka, yourself, and McMillan there, kind of pulling away from the rest of the field. Had a great pit stop, get out there, and you find yourself second behind McMillan there on that second run. You came down pit road before anybody else? Did you think that was going to be the strategy that you needed to do to kind of get out and kind of open up a gap on these guys? Or did you already have in your mind to pit on lap 65?
No, I was just playing it by ear, really. Just kind of, Mike, he pitted early on that first round. I believe he pitted before me.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Yeah, and then I pitted just a couple of laps later because I figured once he pitted, there'd be more going in, and they did. So yeah, I just play it by ear.
Well, you did a great job here tonight, and you talk about Atlanta, how difficult this track was. It seemed like that second run, there toward the end, looked like the track maybe loosened up a little bit. How much did this track change from the beginning of the race to the end?
I think it did loosen up a little more that second run. I couldn't decide if I was, trying to run too fast a pace. It's kind of hard to gauge yourself when you're not around someone else or out in front, I guess. So it did seem to get slicker for me, but it could have been I was overdriving just a little bit.
Well, Greg, you did a great job. You got a second place finish here tonight. I'm going to turn the floor over to you and let you have the last word on your race.
Oh, I just want to, the first place, I want to thank all the drivers, hot, slick track, and green flag all the way to the end. It's just, that's just hard to believe. I would have never bet on that. And then tip of the hat to Lance, he was just good here. He always is. And the league too, Todd and George Dibble for all the time they put in, and everybody else. And then you guys for your broadcasting, do a good job. And yeah, just a good race.
All right. Well, Dean, that was our runner-up, Greg Ratliff. And I believe you're down in Victory Lane, maybe a little bit soaked down there after Lance Ripka wins the race.
Yeah, man, I got buckshot all over me right now. Lance Buckshot Ripka down to victory lane, the 52. Congratulations, Lance. One hell of a race.
Hey, thanks, man. That was really fun. This track, I think, takes more out of you than Darlington. You know, how loose it is and bumpy it is on the bottom. Um, you know, I just did everything I could to keep the car smooth, keep the tires under me, and just kept myself in that position. It paid off, man. It feels good to get this one, especially after last week.
Yeah, well, the crapshoot of last week turns into thrilling victory here. You start out the race. Well, actually, you start out first two runs, maybe first three, all the runs. I'm not sure, Lance, but you're in second at some point, and you're kind of following around in Greg Ratliff's footprints. Was that purposeful? Talk us through those decisions.
Yeah, for the most part, it was. I think I could have got Greg right off the bat and got in front of him. But again, I was just, you know, I can hang out here. We're gonna pull away from the rest of the pack if we just stay in line and not fight each other too much. And then you just don't know how much your tires are gonna wear by battling side by side for too many laps too early. So yeah, a lot of that was purposeful to stay behind them and just ride it out and just continue to keep myself in that spot and hope for a run on the end.
Well, when you did take your runs and you did take the lead, were you feeling that once you got clean air, the car was a little different handling it all, Lance?
It was a little bit different, and I don't know. I don't feel like it was too terrible. Going down the backstretch when you're behind somebody, it seemed like it got a little bit wobbly side to side, and I think that kind of went away when you got out front. So if anything, I think it might have helped me a little bit.
Interesting there. I would have thought staying behind someone would help you, but wasn't in the car tonight here at Hotlanta. You were, man. You did everything right. Very impressive victory. How you feeling now? You had a tumultuous, or whatever the word I'm trying to say, Lance, first race, and now you have a great second race. How you feeling about the rest of the season?
Again, I feel real good. I'm really confident at most of the tracks that we have on the schedule. There's a few of them where I struggle, but I still feel like I can contend for top fives, which that's what I'm going to need if I want to make a run at the championship at the end of the season. So, um, yeah, if we can stay away from those super speedways, where it's a crapshoot whether you can win up front or go up front or you get caught up in that last wreck. So I feel good. I really,
Well,
really
bad
confident going into the next
finishes
race.
now. You guys got a much bigger league now, Lance. 35 cars out here. Heck, you have a bad night. That's truly a bad night. I mean, when you only got 15 or so, it's not so bad, but it's hard to make up a 35th place finish now, isn't it?
That is so correct. So it's going to be really important to keep the car clean and try to stay out of the trouble and yeah, just do the best you can to get the top fives, top tens.
Well, we couldn't be more impressed with you tonight. A lot of patience out on the track. Great strategy. No surprise from a past champion here, Lance. And we were thoroughly impressed. Congratulations on winning the Atlanta 160. And the floor is yours, brother. Anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my son a shout out. He's sitting there watching it right now, um, and his friends that all stepped in to watch it as well. Uh, Obviously, I want to give you guys a shout out for putting on the show. Um, Todd, George, all those guys in the background that make this thing happen. They've been doing a great job keeping this league top notch. Ripka Designs, VMR Wraps, uh, you name it, man. The league. It's this tough track to go caution free.
All right, Jared. You heard it. Lance Ripka, your race winner here. What a race he had.
Yeah, what a great race all around, really, at the end of the day, right? I mean, everybody was doing a great job on the track tonight. We didn't have any accidents, a lot of pit strategy, and it all came down really to pit strategy, right? We heard Greg Ratliff talk about, he thinks that, Ripka, by overcutting him at the end, was able to get that tire advantage, and that was just the difference that he missed out on tonight.
Yeah, awesome night. Of course, the point shake up. You can look for your favorite driver there. It's very early, only the second race of the season, so they'll shake up yeah, ever more. But Ratliff holds on, or actually moves up 3 spots, takes the lead. Newton and Wrecker move into second and third, with Hun falling down to fourth now. But what a thrilling event! I loved every minute of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you stay with us for this RDR Racing Xfinity Series. We got coverage every Sunday right here at 9:10, 9:05. We probably go live, but here from Atlanta, I'm Dean Doucette. He is Jared Carr, and that's going to wrap it up. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.